Hi, I'm Nancy Clark.
And I'm Emery Wallace-Phillips.
We're the Hospice and Bereavement Coordinators with VO in Oxford, and this is Mourning Chats with Anne-Marie and Nancy. So today we're going to discuss some of the reasons why people grieve the way they do. Everyone's grief journey is unique to them, as everyone is a unique individual. So some factors that play into how you're going to grieve and what your grief journey is going to look like is who you are as a person, the person who died, as well as the circumstances that surrounded that person's death. So we hear all the time that grief is universal. Everybody grieves, and that is true. Everyone does grieve, but there are no two grief journeys that look the same. So for someone who has suffered the loss of a loved one and diving into that grief journey themselves, it's very important not to compare or to look at another person and expect yourself to grieve in the same way.
Yeah.
We really talk a lot about taking it one day at a time, following that approach, and being kind to yourself through your own journey.
Sometimes in the early days of grief, it's not one day at a time. It could be 1 hour at a time.
Absolutely. So now we're going to chat about some of the whys, the top common whys for why people grieve the way they do.
So why number one, your relationship with the person who died. So your relationship with the person who has died is different than anybody else's. Were you extremely close to this individual? Or was the relationship filled with tension and grief? Were you separated by physical distance? So the stronger the attachment to the person who died, the more difficult or challenging your grief journey is.
So the second why for the way someone will grieve are the circumstances surrounding the death of your loved one. So the how, the why, and the when of how someone died will definitely impact your grief journey. Was it sudden? Was it an anticipated death? Did you perceive it to be a preventable death? Also, how old was the person when they died? We see a lot of individuals who have lost a child, and it seems as though the order of the world has been turned upside down when a child dies before a parent. It just does not seem right or just. And there really is this innate sense of justice that people have when someone dies too soon or dies in a way that is traumatic, and that can really color a person's grief journey. And we hear a lot from our clients about the if onlys. So if only they were in a different place at a different time, if only their loved one had been present with them or been at their side sooner. And these if-onlys, they're very natural and they're normal during the grief journey. And they're natural to explore, trying to explain this lack of control that people feel during the death of a loved one and trying to make sense of such a tragedy. So we are going to continue next week exploring the next whys 3 and whys number 4. So for more information, contact us by phone or email, or visit voinoxford.ca. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch our previous Mourning Chat videos and to see any upcoming videos.
Thank you.
Thanks.